My name is Michelle Alleman, and you have just joined the team Alleman team call. And we're glad you've decided to spend your Monday evening 30 minutes or so, 30 to 45 minutes with us. And this is the time that we can get together as a team and have community, really have community, learn, and also give us some feedback and chat with us about what's going on. So tonight I have a special guest. Get right into that. Somebody's in the house. Okay, Anna must have just come in. Sorry about that. Wayne is here. Wayne Smith is a brand new agent. He just got started with me last week. Just got a couple of contracts done and went out with me on his first, went out for some training with me. And I want to just interview you, Wayne, for a minute. I'm sure he's going to tell you lots of stuff he learned, but I want to kind of go over a few key things I think that, and let him talk to you about his experience. Because field training is it's the way you can learn to get better fast, and just being able to see somebody do it. Sometimes that's all you need, because we're kinetic learners. We learn by seeing, not just by hearing, but we learn by seeing and doing. So, hey, Wayne.
Hi.
I was so glad you came with me last Saturday. It was a fun day. I'll start out by just saying, I think I'm looking at my calendar, and I actually had 5 appointments scheduled that day. And we were just really, it was like a half day for me. So normally I would try to do 10 appointments if I'm working a full day. So, but what we did was our first appointment started at 8:30, and I said, Wayne, let's meet about 8:10, 20 minutes or so before our first appointment, and we'll meet about down the street, at a place where you can put his car. So we met, we drove to the first appointment, and it was an apartment. So we had to find the right place to park, right? And then, and then we go to the door, it's 8:30, it's upstairs. So we walk up the stairs, and we knock on the door. And what happens, Wayne? Tell them about that.
Oh, well, that's the first thing I learned. You had to knock for about, I guess, 5 to 7 minutes, and she didn't give up on the appointment. If that was me, I probably would have walked away thinking that they didn't want to be bothered. And you called her probably, 3 or 4 times as well before she came to the door.
What's the other thing that I did? I knocked a few times. I called.
And you called her name through the door and told her who you were?
That's right. Some people are too embarrassed to holler someone's name through the door.
Yep.
That's really something I do, pretty common, if someone's not answering. Because here's the thing, and I know you agree with me, Wayne, a lot of people they may have forgotten that you're coming and that it's a stranger, but when you say their name, then they think you're not a stranger. Right. So that's a point of that. Went on in. She forgot I was coming. I woke her up. She didn't know why I was there. Had the letter. Right? And ended up, you can talk a little bit about that appointment. Do you have anything else in that appointment that you thought was special or?
Let me see. One thing I noticed is that when you asked her, I guess if she had any other policies, and she said that she had to go look for them, and she didn't know where they were. But then when you told her, you wanted to make sure that, because a lot of people policies cancel or they term without them knowing, or they can start increasing without them knowing if they don't know the policy. So obviously she didn't know what she had. She said she had 20,000. She only had 10,000. But when you told her, you know, like a lot of people don't know was in their policy, and you just want to make sure that she was okay, she went straight to it, like in less than 10 seconds, and bought it out.
But
So,
people will tell you that they don't know where their policy is. Oh, it's packed away in file 13.
right,
But what did I do? I motivated her to go get it. I didn't tell her her policy was bad,
right,
but I just said, you know, a lot of people think they have one kind of policy, but then when I look at it, man, it's something totally different. I'll be happy to look at it for you. Just pull it out for me. Go get it. And I tell them to go get it.
she said she had 20,000, and you know, I think you mentioned, you know, like a lot of people have 10, and like everybody knows that 10 is like cutting it close. 10 is not really enough. You need at least 12. So, I think she thought about that as well.
Right. I mean, I think that was a key point because if she'd have had 20, I probably wouldn't have been able to. I sold her another 5 for like 30 something dollars. She was on a fixed income. She's on Medicare, Medicaid. She's on Section 8. So she has a limited income. Okay.
Right.
And if she had, you know, and if she thought she's paying $53 for 20,000, but she wasn't. She was paying $53 for 10. So $30 did make sense for 5,000. But you
Right.
see how a new agent could have gotten tripped up on just getting in the home and just getting that policy out.
True. You can't give up. And that's one thing you know, like that was good that happened because, you know, I was thinking you were going to leave, and you kept knocking, and you kept calling and calling her name too.
So that was our first appointment. Then our second appointment, was it a house?
It was an apartment.
Okay.
The guy had a nice little apartment. It had probably like, I think, 5 units.
Now he was waiting on me. He knew I was coming, right?
Right. He was good.
And he ended up telling us he thinks he had cancer, but he wasn't sure.
Right.
But that they were going to get the test results next week. So we ended up writing him on Great Western. Okay. But I had originally, because he didn't tell me cancer at first, I had asked him some questions, any cancer, heart attack, stroke, any major things, and he said no. You remember that?
Yeah, but he said he had just got back from the doctor having a test for that, I guess.
But then he didn't really explain. But then I was already into the e-app for Columbian Financial. So we went on through it, and it didn't go through. Basically, he got approved at Advantage, which is a graded benefit with a 3-year wait. So we withdrew that application. So he saw me do that application. And then we pivoted to the Great Western. Well, he had chosen the 15,000 plan. Okay, so I gave him 3 choices, right? I always give people 3 choices. I gave him 10, 15, and 20, I think. He chose the 15, which was $168 a month.
Right.
So when we had to pivot to Great Western, what did I do?
You did the same thing. You gave him the same options, but I think you let him know that he would pretty much be approved with Great Western, but you know it would be a little more money for him, and it was actually like $100 more.
So he still wanted the 15,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't assume that he wanted less. That was key. I didn't assume that he wanted less. I didn't try to find just something for 167. I still gave him the option if he wanted to go to that, still stay in that same budget.
Mm-hmm.
But he wanted the other. It was 260 something, 263. And we did the e-app on that. He watched me do that, and we got that one completed and done.
Yeah.
We got the ERS in that one. We filled out the emergency list. And the third appointment, okay, that was the Hispanic family. You remember
Yes.
that one?
Yes.
Now, at the door, what was on the ceiling?
Yeah, it was a yellow jacket nest.
Oh. Yeah. But we knocked on the door anyway. And the guy came to the door and he said, don't worry, he's not coming. And so we went on in the house. So that was okay. But how
Right.
many people would get stopped at the yellow jacket nest at the door and not even go?
Yeah, a few people probably would.
Now the son was there. The mom and dad weren't there. The one who filled out the form. So we waited for about 10 minutes. They were on their way back. So we waited for them. And we did a presentation on that one and yeah, Mike says that's a good security system, the yellow jacket. Yeah. I mean, anything you want to say about that appointment? Because we didn't make a sale in that appointment.
No, he just, I don't think he really understood what he was filling out. But you did tell him over and over again when we got there, you told him about 3 or 4 times that we were there for life insurance, even though you went over some, Medicare information with him, which you already had a good policy. You told him you would come back in October to see, if they could get something better when open enrollment comes. But he kept telling us how he already, I guess, had a pre-arrangement and how he saves his money. He had his house paid off, and he doesn't want any more coverage. So.
But at the end of the day, he did agree that his daughter took care of all that other policy, and that he would really like her, and he would speak with me again on it. And perhaps they can get it. And his son wanted a plan. He wanted his son to decide, his son sat there and listened, who was in his 40s.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be able to make a sale to the son. And of course, I told Wayne he's getting every single referral that I got that day. He's getting them, and he's going to be able to work those. And we did get referrals. We got ERSs.
Yes.
And the last appointment, we had 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We actually skipped one because I didn't have my list with me. I didn't have my book with me, but I went by to see her since then. But
Oh, okay.
the last appointment was Christopher.
And we did that one outside.
Now, this was Saturday in Houston, and it was about 100 degrees. And I had my blue jeans on and a shirt like a polo.
Right. And it was, I think he was painting his house on the inside, so he said he didn't have anywhere to sit, so we sat outside under the shed at his house. And I think that was the longest appointment. It was probably close to 2 hours, right? I think.
It was a long appointment.
Outside in the heat. So, you can't let that.
What kind of other struggles did we have besides I was in a little chair with my iPad on my lap, everything on my lap. I had no table.
No table.
You were standing because there was only 2 chairs.
Right.
It was a mortgage lead. Go ahead. Tell them, set the stage.
We had wasps flying around there as well, like a lot. Like, it wouldn't stop. So, I kind of had to, get myself under control, because I don't like being around bugs that sting. But like, they just kept flying by. They didn't do anything. After, I just figured they were just working. So, working like we were. So that was the only other challenge. So it was the heat, the bugs flying around, and her not having a table to work. And I had to stand up, and luckily they had a fan out there, like a big fan. So that helped out a lot. So I was able to try to concentrate and not get too hot.
And this was a mortgage lead. And, when we sat down and talked, he said, Michelle, after you called me yesterday, I had like another guy call me, and, he was telling me that if I met with him, he would give me a free Apple Watch. What is
Yeah,
going
I
on?
forgot about that.
I'm like, really? I said, well, that sounds like a scam to me. I said, because I mean, I don't know, but I've been licensed for 18 years and you cannot bribe people to buy insurance. That is just illegal and you'll lose your license. And I don't know what company is doing it, but I'd run as far away as I could from those people.
Hey, Michelle, I got a picture of it here. I want to show you. Hold on a second. You ready for it? There it is.
Apple Watch.
There it is. The Apple Watch.
That's a scam, all right.
Mike, really?
But, you know, so, I mean, I tell you all of these things tonight, not to scare anybody, but I want you to be prepared. I want you to know that, I mean, sometimes we do sit out in the heat. Sometimes there are wasps. Sometimes people don't answer the door. And then, you know, but what we found is that this couple both, it was an Americo sale because he was 34 and she was 40. And it was a CBO product, so cashback offer. And the e-app on that it's you know, it's a two-part process. And then what happened was my iPad had all these apps open from working all day. And so I ended up having to go through the signing ceremony 4 times. I finally reboot my iPad before it would go all the way through. And I wasn't going to leave until it was done because we don't have a sale until it's all completely done. And if you leave someone's home just because you're running into a little bit of trouble like that, then you're going to walk away from sales. You've got to fight through the struggles. You can call your manager. I was calling Mike because I forgot my writing number for Americo because I hardly write them. And I usually have them in my phone, but it's really good to have them in your phone and have your writing number.
Can I give a plug for where to find your writing number next time you run into that scenario?
I know where it is now. It's on the
So for everyone who doesn't know where it is, there's a convenient little location inside of the ARC that has, thanks, he's walking us through it, that says contract info. And if you click on that, that pulls up all of your writing numbers with every single carrier. Just a little plug.
Okay.
Yes.
So you don't have to remember all of this stuff. It's automatic. It automatically goes into there as your, it automatically goes into there as your contracts are approved.
Hey, if you still want paper, you can print it.
Yeah. But I just want y'all to know I'm not perfect either. But you just kind of fight through some of the stuff that you don't know. So we ended up making a sale there. Cashback offer for the husband. The wife has another policy, but they're going to get one of the cashback offers with Americo, but just not, it wasn't that day. But also found out that her 5-year-old son, well, he's older than 5. He's like 10. But at the age of 5, he was diagnosed with brain cancer. So she asked me for what can I get him a policy? I said, not really. But we do have one company that we can do a policy for him. It's called Transamerica. And the parent will write you up as a whole life plan, and we'll do the child rider where there are no medical questions on that child rider. That's the only one you can do. So, and we're doing that one on her. So
I believe you can also do Occidental for that.
So that's another one we can do, Occidental Life. I'm going to look that one up. So if you don't know, go to your product page, product guide on your, basically Megan can pull that up too. You know what I'm talking about?
I think Sons in Norway is an option too.
0 to
I was
85.
trying not to be, for it not to be a guaranteed 2-year wait.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was trying it not to be, but yeah. But that's a good point, Katie. Thank you. We have so many good producers in our team, guys. Like, you guys rock.
Yes, I
So-
do know where to find it. However, I'm not in control of the screen. There you go.
So the deal is, I mean, if you guys know how bad of a mess I am, then that should give you hope that you can do this. And you could be however good you want to be, you know. And I think, you know, Wayne, I mean, what other comments do you have? What other things that maybe I haven't pointed out that you wanted to share?
Oh, I was just amazed, you know, by the success you had this weekend. I mean, I think you had the right energy, like you stayed calm, but you were in command. So, you know, that's something that I know I would need to work on, or, you know, or not work on. I can just go and be myself, because like you're the same way, you know, since I've been speaking to you, and like you were the same way with those customers too. So that was, you know, I don't want to say unbelievable, but it was. I mean, it's like you went in there knowing that you were going to get the sale. And they knew they needed something too. So, I mean, like it was just amazing to me. And I'm glad, you know, like I saw, you know, like you fight to get the application done outside. And even on the first appointment, like you kept knocking and didn't give up, because I would have left in those cases. I mean, I just know it takes work. Like, you can't give up.
Well, good. Well, I appreciate you being on here, sharing some of your insights, sharing what you learned. And hopefully I gave you guys, new guys, some hope. And I do still have some things I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the new promotion guidelines. And I'm so excited about them, because seriously, right now, we have an opportunity to all really, really grow and grow fast. So I think Mike's going to pull them up on the screen, and I'll have a chance to go through it with you. If you think about what happened at convention, was Andy Albright, our CEO, rolled out the new guidelines, and basically it cut every promotion in half. What does that mean? Let me say it a different way. In the past, if you see this 25,000 agency manager slot, that used to be 50,000. So we used to have $50,000, have to have a $50,000 volume on our team issued business to hit that agency manager promotion level. Now, this is just a builder level. This is not personal production. We're not going to go over that today. We're going to go over personal production guidelines next week. I just want to go over the builder guidelines today, just to kind of, because, and if we have time, I'll let Mike go over the personal production guidelines. But guys, the team is the fastest way you're going to grow your income and grow your business, by multiplying what you're doing. And used to be, it was 50,000, and it was, you had to have like 5 or 6 different legs. That means people in width that you hired directly, doing certain amount of production. But now you only need 2 legs. 2 legs. That's you. It could be you, and it could be one other leg. And you can have as many legs and width as you want, because width is your profitability, depth is your stability. But when you start working and being able to place people, if you've got a leader who's willing to train, placing people on their team to help build their volume, and them recruiting as well, that's going to be a plus for you. So as a leader, you can do that. Let's see here. Let me check my chats. Okay. So the deal is you can really move fast through all these charts, whether, you know, business developer, business promoter, 2,500, business promoter, 3,500, team builder, 5,000, team leader, 7,500, key leader, 12,500. And if you make it bigger, which I just did, then you can move up agency manager, 25, district manager, 37,500, regional manager, 55,000, national manager, 75,000, vice president, 100,000. That's a 105. What I'm trying to do is get 5 or 6 legs, each doing 100,000 by the end of this year. What is your goal? What do you see for yourself in your business in the next 6 months, in the next year? And then once you build the machine and you build some leaders who are doing the same thing, then you've got this machine that's working, and that's the beauty of it. And then you've got, as I punch down, you can go on the right-hand side and you can see career production or personal production, where you can move up at these different promotion levels: 5,000, 12,500, 20,000, 25, and 50. That's just career production. I think on the back is the personal production. It might be on a different sheet, Mike. No, he says no. Okay. Now, and then when we talk about some of these bonuses, if you can go back down, we can talk a little bit about the glow bonus, which nobody else has the glow bonus. Okay. Now, it's called GLOW, and it stands for Generational Loyalty Overrides. So these are bonus money that you can earn as you start building a team. Okay. Now, when you look at these levels where it says national manager, 75,000, 100% contract, and then you see where it says 123%, you can actually get GLOW bonuses up to an extra 23%. And how do you come up with that number? It's really the 8% first generation, plus 5, plus 4, 2, 2, 1, and 1. All that equals 23%. So what that means is, as you have legs that are building in depth, you can get 8% on the top leg, the second leg underneath it 5, and so on and so forth. The main thing is, if you've got a spread of 10 to 20% on your team, and you've got a team doing 100 grand a month, it's an extra 10 to 20 grand in residual income. This is the main thing I want you to understand. And you help your team, you build teams, and then you still go out and produce and do what you do. You can still do that, just like what I do. Anyway, I am super fired up about the promotion guidelines. I'm super fired up because I think we have a lot of winners here who can build $100,000 blocks of business. And so, you know, we're just going to help. Our goal is to help do that for you. So that's it. Any questions? And we can also, if you've got a whole bunch of questions, we can definitely take it up one-on-one too. So.
I don't have any questions, but just to comment is, there's for us in the field who are actively trying to build a business and write business at a high level. All I want you to focus on is 2 levels ahead of where you are right now, and just slowly, continuously get a little bit better every day. Sometimes we, give us this super intense high goal that seems maybe attainable for you now, maybe not, but I just want to encourage y'all to maybe just look 2 levels ahead of where you are now, see how you can easily get there, and then work towards that. I mean, just so y'all know, we're all shooting to get to be at a totally different level than where we are today. So if you want to be on that ride with us, we encourage you. Obviously, you are on that ride. You guys are a big part of that ride. But what she's just trying to put in you is just a little bit of growth, a little bit of, she's trying to make you guys stretch a little bit more than maybe you've been stretched in the past, to grow to the next level. But all of us, truly, our main focus is to build agencies of $100,000 blocks to start. So what I want you to ask yourself is can I be that leader, that agency that is doing 100,000 within the next 6 months? And we're talking $100,000 a month in issue paid premium. So, and obviously that'll get better as that'll grow as your team grows, but that's what we're focused on for the next six months, is really building blocks of $100,000 agencies. So
If you break it down, Megan,
let's do it.
you can think about it like this. You can think about 10 people who do 10 grand issue paid a month.
Mm-hmm.
And that could easily be a part-time person. It doesn't have to be a full-time person. Or you might get a superstar who can do 30,000 a month. Or you might have 20 or 15 people doing 7,500. But in reality is you'll have 20% of your people doing 80% of the business. Right?
Mm-hmm. So,
So-
are there any other questions? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. All right. Well, it is 8:04. We will go a little bit more into maybe personal production promotion chart next week, just to go over that with you guys. If you have questions, feel free to contact us, and we'll be happy to answer them. We have an incredible way to help a lot of people. I told someone Saturday, and it may have been Wayne, but I might have told my husband, but it's like every time I go out in the field, I come back with this tremendous amount of gratitude for what I get to do to help other people. Because one lady we saw had congestive heart failure. The other man was just diagnosed with what he thinks is going to be lung cancer, and we're actually able to help these people, and it feels good to go help people. And so, if I had to do this job for free, I'd probably still do it because I love it. I guess I'm going to end the call on that. How about that? So hopefully that you will find that you enjoy doing what we do, and you enjoy working with us, because that's the real fun of it, is working with people we like and helping people that we like. So with that, thank you all for taking the time to be here, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the call next Monday, 7:30. Peace. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.